stars come to shine when it's dark from so far away, show us where we are. What makes the sun go to sleep every night, and what's it dreaming of? I wonder. How come the sky sometimes hides behind the clouds? Maybe it's just like me, a little bit scared of heights. Why does the rain always keep on pouring down when it's gray outside? It really makes me wonder. Yeah, it makes me wonder. It really makes me wonder. Ooh, I wonder. How come the trees get undressed when it's cold? And don't they miss the leaves they left behind? Could it be to make the ground shine like gold until winter comes? Until winter comes, until winter comes. It really makes me wonder. Yeah, it makes me wonder.
Hello, it is a beautiful day, a beautiful week here at the homestead. I just harvested some plums and apricots from one of the trees. They are so delicious. I'm gonna find a ripe one for you guys. This one feels nice and soft. And oh, they're so good. I've just been snacking on plums the last couple of days. Very juicy. Needs a little bit more time to ripen off. I like to pick them before they're fully ripe and let them ripen off the tree, because if I wait, those birds, I mean, they already enjoy the fruit trees, but they'll get to all of them if I don't pick some before they get to them. We have been working on so many little projects here and there all over the homestead with the woofers here. If this is the first video you're watching and you don't know what woofers are, if you didn't watch my last vlog, woofers are travelers, usually like backpackers or people doing van life throughout New Zealand, that come stay on your plot of land, and you give them food and they help work on the farm in return. So they set up a profile, contact us, and we set up a profile as well to ask travelers to come in, and people from all over the world use it. We have a couple here from the UK and they have helped me with so much of the garden. We've done tons of weeding, and they usually do about 4 hours a day. And so we've just gone into the veggie garden. It's looking so tidy. We've done a little bit of like paint jobs on some of the outside doors and like fences, and honestly just a lot of weeding. Today we will be working on finishing up the driveway. We've gone out to get some gravel. This is something we've wanted to do for so long, but it's those projects that just keep getting lower on the to-do list when you just have so many other things going on in life, like just renovating the house. Oh, we also had our friend come out who's a builder, and he helped us with our roof. We had these two pieces of just like metal poles that were doing nothing but bringing some water into our attic. We had a bucket in our attic because they were just these poles that we think were part of an old chimney, because this house was built in like the 1940s. And so they were serving no purpose at all, but actually causing problems. And so he helped us pull them out of the roof the other day. Well, him and Alex did it. And they were up on the roof, and it's so nice to get little things done like that. Like that was on the top of our priority list, because obviously we don't want water coming into the house, and we don't want these two objects that we don't need in the roof. So that was a huge check mark off the list. I think for Alex, it like really reduced his anxiety level about that, because he had just been thinking about it the last year We've tried calling roofers and stuff like that, but it was a smaller project and roofers are really busy right now. So they were like, oh, we're working on bigger projects, on new builds and stuff like that. We don't have time to come out for a small project. So it was so nice that our friend came out. We're going to eventually paint the roof, which will be nice, but for now, just having those two pieces out that were just not serving any good but doing harm is awesome. Alex has just run into town with the trailer because he's picking up gravel. When he gets back, we're all gonna help him kind of shovel out and disperse the gravel. We've already done quite a bit of it. It's pretty straightforward and it's looking really, really nice so far. I stuck back because I'm just freshening up the house. I'm getting the guest room ready because we have family friends coming to stay with us tomorrow night. The other day, these art pieces that I ordered came in the mail. I bought them off Amazon. I just think that they are so beautiful. They're just prints, but they're so gorgeous. They're really high quality. I saw them on Instagram and I was like, I need to get my hands on those. They look exactly like this area and the sheep. I just love it. And the colors, I feel like go so well with this room. So I'm going to be putting them up on this wall right here because when you walk into the room, that wall is the first thing that you see because the door is like right there, if that makes sense. So I've always wanted two nice little art pieces on that wall so that you can see them right as you walk in. And this room feels very like relaxing country French farmhouse cottage vibes, and I just felt like these went really well. I am chopping up some fresh cucumbers straight from the garden right now. I will just never get tired of the process of harvesting fresh veg from the garden and putting it right onto our plates. It has been a huge day. You guys can probably hear the cicadas right now. If you're not familiar with cicadas, it's a super common sound in the summer in New Zealand. Also, those are the wind chimes and some wind. But cicadas they come around in the summertime when it's nice and hot outside. They're a little bug and they make this sound. So anytime you're in New Zealand in the summertime, you will hear this sound. The woofers have been so helpful, and tonight is our last dinner with them, and I'm actually kind of sad about it, and I'm gonna miss them. They've been so helpful and so wonderful. And I know I didn't show you guys any footage of them helping out or anything like that, but I always like to be respectful of other people coming into our lives and like not putting them on the internet if they like didn't sign up for that. So I just like kept that whole experience private, but it's been really lovely. This week has been so full. There's Frida. I don't know if you guys can hear all the sounds going on right now, but there's a lot of country sound going on right now. Ducks quacking, cicadas, wind blowing. Alex is on the barbecue right now making some barbecue chicken because we're doing barbecue chicken pizzas tonight, which we had their first or second night here and they loved it. So we're doing it again, and we're doing more this time because there wasn't enough because everybody wanted like their own pizza. It was so good. So we're excited to have dinner with them tonight, see them off in the morning, and then like I said, we have family friends coming tomorrow, so I'll just be prepping the guest room for them. And yeah, life is full. There's a lot going on. Even had a barbecue with the neighbors and the woofers the night before last. Life has really felt like we are fully living to the fullest potential you can, where things just kind of flow together and you end up having plans last minute and people coming over and having dinner together, and you didn't even plan for that to happen. It just unfolded and fell into place that way. And every day lately, we've just been looking at each other being like, it has been such a beautiful, full day. Tonight, I'm gonna get into bed early, around 8 p.m. This is what Alex and I did last night. It was so lovely because we were all cleaned up and ready for bed by 8 p.m. and we read before bed, and it was just such a good way to get like a good amount of reading done instead of getting to bed at like 9:30 and reading for only like 5 minutes and getting really tired, because I've been loving the book that I'm reading right now on the Kindle. It's The Untethered Soul, and I'll talk to you guys about the book tomorrow because I definitely want to talk to you about it because it's been like blowing my mind in lots of different ways and I'm really loving it. So I'll see you guys tomorrow and we'll talk about the book. Hello. It's been a couple of days since you've seen me last. I'm sitting on the couch right now. The fireplace is going. It's drizzling outside. I am reading my book that I told you guys I would chat with you guys about. The last time you guys saw me, I was making dinner for our woofers because it was our last dinner with them and I was chatting about that and stuff. But an update there. They're staying for another week. They wanted to and we wanted them to. There's more stuff to do around here, as there always is. And they just wanted a place to stay longer and they're really enjoying their time with us. And they wanted to stay and we wanted them to stay. So we all just decided to have them extend their time for another week. I want to cozy up by the fire and chat with you guys a little bit about The Untethered Soul because I have been loving this, and I want to read some of the pieces that I highlighted, just a couple sentences that I thought were really profound and honestly life-changing. This book is a lot about untethering yourself from your anxious thoughts. As human beings, we are constantly thinking, and it can be exhausting, thinking about what we should do, what we want, what we don't want, what we need to do, judging our situations, ourselves, other people, thinking about what could go wrong, what could go right, just constant. And this book teaches you ways to remove yourself from that constant noise and sort of separate yourself from it and realize that not everything we think is true and that we aren't our thoughts entirely, and that we are actually like a consciousness outside of this noise that we constantly have in our heads. And one of the sentences that I highlighted, that's why I really love the Kindle, because you can highlight things and go back, and you can also like click on a word and get the definition for it, which is really cool. And so if you've been thinking about getting a Kindle and you want to, I'd say go for it because I really like it. And I like that you don't have to hold a big book. Like I love a book. I love the smell of a book. I love that. But I've been really liking, I find myself that I can read more on the Kindle, like faster, and I just get more pages done. Anyways, one of the sentences that I highlighted: the only permanent solution to your problems is to go inside and let go of the part of you that seems to have so many problems with reality. And I want to read this other little bit to make what I just read to you guys make a little bit more sense. The only real solution is to take the seat of witness consciousness and completely change your frame of reference. And here's the real kicker here. To attain true inner freedom, you must be able to objectively watch your problems instead of being lost in them. When I read that, I was like, wow, what an interesting way to think about the things that we deal with as human beings, the things that are hard for us, that we're going through in life. Because it's so easy for us to get lost in our problems, right? We're dealing with something, going through something, and we just lose ourselves in it because we want to fix whatever the problem is. There are so many different things in our lives that we don't have control over. So what this is saying is, if we don't have control over it, why are we allowing ourselves to get so completely lost in it? Easier said than done, of course, but I feel like it's a good refresher to remember that our life is going to unfold the way that it's supposed to, in the way that it's going to be. And it's just a beautiful thing to think about, that if we remove ourselves from all of that, if we remove ourselves from getting lost in it and just recognize that it's going to unfold the way that it's going to, and we can remove ourselves from trying to control, then it's like untethering ourselves, and then our soul becomes more free, essentially. And I'm only on like chapter 5, so I'm sure there's much more for me to learn from this book, but so far, really liking it. I also wanted to chat with you about something that has nothing to do with this book at all, completely different thought I've been having. And it stemmed from, I think, a comment on YouTube, a couple of comments actually over the last like 3 months or so that really started to get me thinking about success and how we define success as individuals and as a society. And I think the comments that I got, like I think there were 2 different comments, and I don't remember them exactly, but one of them was along the lines of like, how could you leave LA and like now you're living in the countryside, and like, is that what success is to you? And then I think another one was along the lines of like, is this what you define, is this success to you, or something like that. I thought that they were pretty interesting comments, because let me know your thoughts on this, because I feel like success is different for everyone. And I find it really interesting when people put their assumptions and judgments on other people regarding what success is to them, for them. Since I was a kid, I dreamt of living in the countryside and living on a little plot of land and having farm animals and lush green grass and hillsides. And like, this was something that was very much so manifested, without a doubt. I have a painting that I got at a secondhand shop before we bought this house, and it's a girl with her chickens, and she has cut stem flowers in a wheelbarrow, and she's just like living her best countryside life. And I bought that before we got this house, hoping to manifest a life like that. And so I find it really interesting when someone defines their own thoughts of success, which a lot of the time, society's definition of success is to work in a big city with a corporate job, having like a 9 to 10, working crazy hours, but being a corporate person who's just like making tons of money, living in a huge house or gorgeous apartment overlooking the city, having a really nice car. My camera just died, but I want to continue this conversation for a little bit longer, so I'm using my phone camera right now, and I have drizzling. It's like just slightly drizzling right now, and then there's just lush greenery all around you guys because you're propped up on my window, and it's very cozy. I just wanted to end this topic and kind of open it up for conversation. And I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this, because I'm not trying to sit here and convince anybody that my life that I live right now is my definition of success. In some ways, I have achieved dreams that I want, and in some ways I haven't. There are still things that I want to achieve in my life, but this countryside lifestyle is something that I've dreamt of for a very long time. So to me, this right now is success to me, but I'm not trying to convince anyone of that. What I find interesting is when other people make judgments on whether someone else's life is success, because that can be a bit tricky and a bit sticky to make your judgments that society has given you, right? We're all just like products of society. I think it's important to question all of that, to question what success is really, and in our hearts, and to know that everybody's version of success is different, and that's okay. And just because we think something is successful doesn't mean that it is, and something that we think is unsuccessful that somebody else is doing doesn't mean it's unsuccessful. It's success to them, maybe. So I just wanted to kind of open up that conversation about judgments, about redefining success, if that's something you're interested in thinking about, because I think it's too easy to just tell ourselves that what society has told us is success. Is it? It's because to me personally, success is the freedom to live a life that you want and that you dream of, and a life where you can do the things that you love and you're living in harmony with our planet, and that you are doing the best that you can. And part of what I feel is success as well is that I've worked really hard to create this community as well, and being able to connect with people from all around the world on a weekly basis. That's a success to me, because it took a lot of hard work, and I've been doing it for almost a decade now. So it's been a lot of hard work. So there are lots of different aspects to my life that I feel are successful within my home and my lifestyle and my work. And again, I'm not saying that to convince anybody, because I know that I don't need to convince anyone. And most of you here who watch these videos know me, and you know that 6 years ago I created a video, a Q&A, where I said I'm moving to a farm because that was my dream life. When someone said, where do you want to be in 5 years? I think in that video I said it maybe would be Oregon or something like that. I don't know. I've never even been to Oregon. I have been to Oregon, but I at that time had never been. And so I was just kind of like naming a place that I could see because it was lush and green. And I ended up here, and I'm very happy that I have, because living abroad is also a part of me that I have grown so much in this last year of living in another country, and I have learned so much, and I'm coming into myself as a person more than I think I ever would have. And I've changed, and I'm different in good ways because of living in New Zealand. But that's a whole other tangent. I don't need to go into all of that right now. Right now, I just wanted to say that a lot of you know me, and you don't comment things like that, but I do see them from time to time, even on TikTok or things like that, when I talk about living a life that is, I guess, slightly out of the norm, different than what most people are doing these days or had aspired to in the past. I think it's becoming a lot more fascinating and interesting to people to live a lifestyle like this, because I think we are wanting and craving a little bit, I guess, more connection to the land like that. I can just feel that. I think that COVID created that mindset of more like self-sufficiency and like just kind of like getting back to the land in those ways. But that's a whole other conversation too. I guess I just wanted to open up a conversation to chat about what you guys think about all of this that I'm discussing, and what your definition of success is, and what you think about placing judgments on other people's lifestyles when everybody's version of success is going to look different, and that's okay. That being said, I think I'm going to end this week's vlog here. This was a long chat here at the end. I hope that you enjoyed it. I like adding in these chatty bits here and there because I feel like it allows us to connect a little bit more, and I want to open up conversations with you guys. I want it to be like we can have a convo. So that being said, I will see you all very soon in a new video next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.